What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of this week's Brick Built Mindset podcast. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in and subscribing. So today I want to talk about failure and all of the different metrics that you can use failure for, especially when it comes to progression, when it comes to feedback, when it comes to evaluating your status and everything that you encompass as far as your identity. And I was listening to a message the other day, and they were talking about, ways to view failure, which there's a million different ways out there. There's a million different messages that some of them are, fairly similar. But what I abstracted from this particular message was how to gauge instant feedback as soon as you experience rejection, as soon as you experience failure. And what I took from it was the first question you should ask yourself. How injured am I? How much did this affect me? What do I feel in regards to this failure? Who do I care about that thinks I failed or sees that I failed? And these are all questions that I began to ask myself whenever I was evaluating all of the failures and the things that I didn't think were successes during my life. And one thing that kept popping up for me was the who cares about me or cares about the failure that I experienced. And ironically enough, I was on a podcast the other day and we were talking, and the guy who was interviewing me had this really amazing tool to overcome the fear of failure or overcome the fear of trying. And he said that most of the people that he experiences with that have experienced failure, he has them do a simple exercise. And what they do is they write down, I'm afraid of trying this because I think blank is going to think differently of me. And in that blank is a name, the name of somebody that you think is going to judge you, somebody that you think is going to look at you differently if you try something and it doesn't go well. And what I began to think about was most of us are afraid not only of not succeeding, but we're afraid of what that one person may think, what that group of people may think of us if we fail, or if we switch it up, or if we try something different. Instead of actually taking failure as an opportunity to reflect, to learn, for it to teach you, we are so insecure and we are so bottled up in the perception of other people. We put ourselves in this confined space of other people and their perception instead of expanding and learning and reflecting and seeing what it is that we could have done differently or what it is that we, didn't execute properly or whatever the case is when it comes to failure. We put ourselves in a position where other people predict how and when we succeed. So my invitation to you all today is to look at how you process and you absorb failure. Reflect back on the lessons that you can learn. Reflect back on the teachings that you can learn. Reflect back on the opportunities that you can take advantage of. Instead of reflecting on everybody else's perception, take this time to reflect, then heal, then progress. And chances are you're not going to perfect it the first, second, or even third time. But I promise you that it will become second nature. You will start to learn more about yourself. You'll start to learn more about how you deal with failure and how you deal with rejection. And I promise you it'll be worth it. Take this time during your vulnerability or insecurity and grow and learn from it.